One summer moment can change a child's life. Through Toys for Tots Give and Go initiative, your support provides books, games, toys, and outdoor adventures that spark curiosity, creativity, and a love of nature. Whether it's fishing, learning a new sport, reading under a tree, or playing with friends, these moments build confidence and lifelong memories. For too many children, those moments never come. You can help change that this summer. Visit toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots, delivering hope beyond the holidays.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
Disclosure Day is Steven Spielberg's best film in 20 years.
Are they people?
No.
Are they human?
Oh my God.
Spielberg does this better than anybody in history.
I can see them. They're coming.
Disclosure Day. Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters Friday. Get tickets now.
So he's totally right about that cashless bail. It's bad for public safety, and it's also bad, quite frankly, for the bail bond business. The bail bond queen herself joins me once again, Michelle Esquenazi. She's amazing. She's been in this business for, 20, 30 years? Michelle,
32.
Welcome. 22. How are you?
Good. 32.
Oh, 32? I was pretty close.
Greg, how are you? Hey, New York. Hey, everybody.
I'm glad you're with us, and you know bail bonds, and you've been pushing this issue for a long time. Not everybody understands it. Where are we right now? You've been calling for this reform, and people are reforming, but there's also a lot of resistance.
I think we're really getting closer. When we have a common sense New York City president like DJT, then he understands, 1 and 1 is 2 in America. Criminal recidivists love bail reform. It's a botched social justice experiment, really.
So what is the significance? This is not the first time he has spoken about it. What do we need? Has everything already been done at the federal level? And before you explain that, do me a favor. Give me an example of cashless bail, a cashless bail scenario, and a cash bail scenario, and why the cash bail scenario is better.
Okay, that's such a good question. Okay, so like Illinois, for example, which essentially obliterated what is referred to as cashless bail in the 60s. But essentially what it is it's a government-funded release program. People's taxpayer dollars are used to fund this massive bureaucracy to release and monitor criminals, which it does not do very well, nor does it count how many times they fail to appear or reoffend or anything like that. A secured bond, which is a bail bond, is when mom, dad, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa get involved in that particular offender's release. A bail agent is involved. If the offender fails to appear, we return that fugitive to the high order of the court, and there's accountability. There's skin in the game. And that's what the president's alluding to.
So that's interesting. The cashless bail, it's really not cashless. It's public cash. It's not the defendant's cash. They're using other cash?
That's exactly correct.
Well, I don't think a lot of people appreciate that.
And they don't know about it, but we're about to explain that to the president. We're moving towards a roundtable, so that is so abundantly important.
Oh, those things, once you have one of those, you are getting close. And he does seem to totally understand it. I did not know about and tell us like how bad the government is at, they really stink at a lot of things they try. They're good at a couple of things, a handful of things. They have no business to be in the bail bond business. How inept are they? You kind of alluded to it, but I mean, they must be, because they have no experience.
Not only do they have no experience, they also actually don't care because they get paid on Friday, irregardless, right? They use countless gazillions of taxpayer dollar. It's state taxpayer dollar, it's Fed taxpayer dollar, and they fund these massive bureaucracies. And they work Monday through Friday from 8:45 to 4:45. But, I got big news for government. Criminal offenders don't reoffend, during business hours. Just FYI.
Yeah, heads up, just so you know. And but you've got some really great techniques, tactics, and knowledge to find these guys, who decide to skip. And tell us a little bit about that. How do you find the guys who go running?
Well, I mean, today's day and age, the social media footprint is just off the charts, right? because the one thing that they love is themselves. So they're constantly on social media. So a lot of times, honestly, Greg, they give themselves away. They're taking a picture in front of a Walmart. We could tell which Walmart it is.
Why the hell would you take a picture of yourself in front of a Walmart?
Because sometimes they're not brilliant. Sometimes they are.
No, I get it. It's the kind of thing a criminal would do. Hey, man, I'm about to shoplift from inside this store. Ha ha. I don't know.
Right, in front of Louis Vuitton in Roosevelt Field or something. Exactly.
Now, a bail bond guy once told me, and tell me if this is true, that there's basically a couple of ways. If you're going after a female fugitive, which is, happens, not as much as with men, you go to one place, wherever her kids are, you can find her. And then the other, for the guys, you go to where he gets his sex and or where he gets his drugs and alcohol. That's where you find it. It works that way?
Affirmative.
I love that cop talk. Affirmative, that law enforcement bail bond talk. Affirmative. Yeah. All right. And what is the hardest apprehension you ever had to make? The largest search, the most intricate, pain in the neck. Oh my God! And then you found him. Search.
I mean, I think it was one of the most dangerous. Okay, so there's a kid named Jonathan Roth. His father put out this whole insurance fraud thing where he did a murder or whatever. No, it was insurance fraud. And then the Coast Guard went looking for him, and we had him out on bond. He was a former Marine. And we had him out on bonds, and he decided the last minute he didn't like the sentence, so he was going to leave. He went to Ohio, and he was, hanging out in the house with another Marine. And as you well know, Marines are trained to kill. So my guys, went to Ohio, and they didn't want to screw it up in any way, shape, or form. I was a little twisted about it. And, so I told them to go to the bar and find the biggest rack they could, to ring the bell and tell them that the car was broken down up the street.
Wait, biggest rack?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Boobs.
Now, Michelle.
Sorry. Did I say that? Is that not allowed on television?
I never heard to a woman referred to as a rack. I've heard of a rack.
Sometimes I have to have some testosterone, Greg Kelly.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Yeah, this is the lingo. It's very authentic. All right. So you found an attractive, buxom woman.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And what did she say? She's had car problems?
Yes, up the way, yes.
And then what happened?
And then they got a visual on him, and then they took him.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good thinking. That's smart. Yeah. Wow.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, no. I kind of forgot my other question. I had another question about that. I can't remember. Oh, yes. Here's the question I have. All right. Now, bail bonds. Now, this is totally and completely hypothetical. All right? I'm not. But, well, first, let's pretend, totally hypothetical, that you got in trouble, all right? That you were falsely accused of murder, all right? Oh. And you were out on bail. Do you think, given your knowledge, and it was a totally corrupt case, let's pretend that you were in Washington State and they didn't like you because you're on cable news all the time saying things they don't like, and they decided to railroad you. And you decided, you know what? I'm not putting up with this. I didn't do it. I'm not facing 30 years in jail. I'm getting out of here. Do you think you'd be a better fugitive than the average fugitive?
That's a very good question. My goodness. I think the answer is a resounding yes. I would probably have to go to the Middle East and put on a hijab or something like that, or a burqa. But yeah. And
let's say in that theoretical situation, take you out of it. It was me. Okay. You said the Middle East and the burqa. I don't know if you're being fun again, and that's great. But I mean, like, I don't know if you remember this. There was his name was Kelly, a kid in college. Thomas Puccio was the defense attorney, high profile crime in Connecticut. And he was convicted. He didn't want to go to jail, so he ran off, and I believe he was in Switzerland. And he stayed there for a long time. What would you, again, totally hypothetical, but what would you recommend? Not recommend, that's too incriminating. What would be an option for somebody if they wanted to avoid? And you know what? We should probably not talk about this.
No. I actually have an answer because I know exactly where you're going with this. And the reason I said burqa is not because of anything ethnic. It's just because they cover themselves up, right? It's a costume. So it's hard to tell one person from another when everybody's wearing the same outfit. You understand what I'm saying?
All right. So what does a guy do? I mean, women.
So it's the same thing. So like like the ethnic people like in well, not in those countries, but let's say in India where they wear something that covers their heads and they wear like a lot of costumery. That would be the place that would be harder to find you because you kind of essentially blend in and you end up looking like everybody else, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but then you got to wear all that stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's that and your freedom.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's like probably a decent trade-off to not be.
I don't know if Joe Schmo criminal goes to India if they wouldn't stand out. I don't know. But
I think you're probably right, but you asked me a crazy question, so I gave you a crazy answer.
Fair enough. But you also gave us a lot of really interesting information, sound information about cashless bail and how it works.
We have all the data. So that's one thing we have. As you know, we have 3 United States veterans on our board, and we have all the data points.
Well, they say she's in the royal family, the bail bond queen herself. Empire Bail Bonds. If you're in trouble, go to bailempire.com, right? Bailempire.com, BAIL empire.com. Hope we never need you, but we certainly want you. Michelle Esquenazi, good luck with everything, and enjoy that meeting with President Trump.
Thanks, and all the best to you, Pop.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.